If you want to marry me, then you should marry me. If you don't, then you should tell me so I can go back to America and not be here anymore. I'm living in India for a reason. I don't have any family here. It's only you. Yeah, so if this isn't really what you want, you're too afraid, then you should just let me go.
So dudes, welcome back to the #1 YouTube channel in the entire world. Today we're talking about Jenny and Sumit on 90 Day Fiancé the other way because things are finally getting exciting about this couple. Before it was absolute dog water, it was very boring, but now I feel like things are finally heating up with this couple. Sumit's mom is demanding that she moves in with Jenny and Sumit.
No way. It's true.
She's also demanding that Jenny learns what it's like to be a good Indian wife.
What?
I think the most ironic thing about the situation is that Sumit's mom absolutely hates Jenny and she's not liked her from the beginning. I think it's also because Jenny lied to the mother about the fact that she was absolutely sending her son in her own household, so I'm sure that she still has some grudges about that incident. I think the most pathetic thing to watch about the situation is that Jenny keeps going back to India. She spent 6 months in India, 6 months in the US, and she's literally bled dry of all her money in order to pursue Sumit, and Sumit just seems like he's never gonna marry this girl, and I think that that's the most frustrating thing for every 90 Day Fiancé fan.
Buddy, I'm not ready.
I low-key kind of feel bad for Jenny. I mean, all the other old ladies get to play bingo and just do old people things, but not Jenny. Jenny has to stay in India with Sumit. I think we all saw this from Sumit because from day one, he pretended to be this guy, but he was actually this guy.
A man's gotta do what a man's gotta do.
Jenny decided to enter a relationship with a liar, so can she really trust anything Sumit says? Well, she does. She actually trusts everything he says, and it's infuriating for a viewer because our internal dialogue is screaming, Jenny, get a brain. Let's leave that moment when Jenny questions Summit's commitment to their marriage, which is really lacking because this guy constantly says that he's doing things and he's filing the paperwork and he's doing everything he can to make sure that him and Jenny can get married in India and live together happily ever after. But Sumit is constantly dragging his feet to complete these tasks, and he blames it on his anxiety to do so, but I just feel like you've had 10 years to marry this girl, and you're still not doing it.
Commit!
ओवर 6 महीने से ज़्यादा आपको यहाँ पे हो गए हैं।
हाँ जी
आप अपने पासपोर्ट की मिसिंग की एक एफआईआर हमारे पास रजिस्टर करा दीजिए।
हाँ जी ठीक है।
Sumit told Jenny that he lost his passport, but I'm willing to bet that the mother has the passport, or he in fact is lying and he didn't lose his passport. Anyway, they go to ask the question of when he can receive his passport, and the guy working there says he can have it as soon as a month. It's really not that big of a deal, but Sumit made it seem like it was the biggest deal to go down to the station and ask about his passport information. And it's weird because whenever they encounter a situation or a problem in their relationship, I've seen that Sumit just adds to the problem, or he makes the problem even more complicated. Jenny says to the camera that she's actually pleased by how easy this process was, and she feels strongly that Sumit should have got this taken care of prior, and for this point I agree. But even when Sumit told Jenny that he was gonna marry her, I think that he did that because he's a people pleaser. You can see that by how Sumit automatically switches sides when his parents are involved as well. Sumit constantly wants to please everybody. He wants the best of both worlds, and for his situation I feel like he's never gonna get the best of both worlds.
If you want to marry me, then you should marry me. If you don't, then you should tell me so I can go back to America and not be here anymore. I'm living in India for a reason. I don't have any family here. It's only you.
If a man wants to do something, they will. If he's dragging his feet constantly and he's never getting around to do the thing he told you he was gonna do, then you need to walk away. Well, since Jenny's never gonna leave Sumit, let's take a look at that moment when Sumit tells his family that he's engaged to Jenny, and they absolutely freak out. I actually have a lot of Indian friends that live in the Netherlands, and they told me that touching feet is actually a sign of respect in India. I don't know if you guys knew that. You might have already known that, but for those of you that don't know, now you know.
So how's you? I'm good, doing good. You reduced some weight. Yeah, cause I'm happy now.
What Sumit's basically saying is that now that he's with his girl, he's actually happy and he doesn't have his parents looming over him, being all suppressive. That resulted in him losing weight. And you see his parents' face after he says this. They're just looking down. They're very sad to hear this news. The last time they had a family meeting like this, Sumit was crying in his parents' arms and saying things like,
I can't live without Jenny.
And how could you do this to your son? And he was basically playing the victim. So Sumit says to his family that first and foremost, I I came here for my brother and his significant other to celebrate their new baby. The second reason why I came here, Mom and Dad, was to ask you if Jenny could come around with us and be part of our family celebrations. I think this is actually kind of selfish on Summit's part. Like, you're taking the spotlight away from your brother celebrating that he's having a child to yourself and your toxic relationship with Jenny and your parents. It's not really about you. Should be a joyous occasion for your brother. And I feel like it is selfish of him to bring this up at this occasion. But let me know what you guys think about this in the comments. I feel like this whole segment with Jenny and Summit has lasted longer than the global pandemic. The next thing Summit does, I don't agree with. He basically says that I'll stay with you, Mom and Dad, and Jenny can stay home alone. He does this thing where he's constantly trying to barter with his parents or negotiate in order to reach a compromise that they both agree upon. At this point, Jenny is living in a foreign place with no support system and doing the most for you, and you want her to stay home by herself and you to be with your parents. Like, make it make sense, bro. At this point, I think you should choose Jenny because she's doing the most. I don't know why he's trying to backpedal now and be like, she can be at home and I'll be with you guys. So, you know, Summit's brother and wife say that Jenny is welcome anytime for their family celebrations as a friend, but not as a family member.
Oh, ouch.
Summit's parents go on to say that Indian society does not accept Summit and Jenny being together. Therefore, they do not want to accept it because they live in a community where if they are cut off from society, then when they encounter a problem, their neighbors will not help them.
भाई देखो अब मैं engaged हूँ.
I'll be honest, throwing down this news that Jenny is his fiance is a power play by Summit. It almost feels like he doesn't actually want to marry Jenny. He just wants to piss off his family because he's still dragging his feet in the mud and will never actually marry her. But telling the mother and everybody there that she's his fiance now, yo, the mom immediately starts crying, and it's actually good. Like, the mother handled this way better than last time, because last time she said that if he married Jenny, she was gonna kill herself. So, like, threatening your kid with suicide in order to guilt trip him to not marry his significant other, somebody that is the love of his life.
What a manipulative bitch.
She did not do it this time. She just cried in the corner. So I think this is actually better, and there's progress that's made, even though the situation is still really stressful.
तो उसका भी उतना ही बनता है जैसे हमारे हर एक पार्ट में सेलिब्रेशन में आना.
What can I say? The family had a calm discussion with no death threats. Next thing you know, Summit's mom says that she wants to move in with Jenny and Summit. Let's roll the clip of that because I find the whole situation hilarious. When this scene opens up, we learn that Jenny and Summit are meeting with his parents and also a family counselor in order to help them get their messages across to each other.
शादी तो अभी ऐसे नहीं हो सकती क्योंकि जब मैं देखूंगी ना कि इंडियन बहुओं का बहुएं कैसी होती हैं, मैं इसे सिखाऊंगी. वहाँ शिफ्ट होते हैं इनके घर.
She's basically saying that Jenny is not ready to marry her son because she doesn't understand the culture. She wants to move into their house, get in the way of their sex life, and actually teach Jenny how to be an Indian bride. The funny thing is, like, we all see what she's trying to do. She's trying to cause a wedge in their relationship and break them up. It's clear as day.
Home wrecker.
I guarantee you that even if Jenny went along with everything the mother's gonna teach her, she would still not approve of Jenny marrying her son. So what is the point of this? To subject Jenny to more torture?
मैं चाहती हूँ हम सारा परिवार साथ में रहेंगे वहीं पे.
I agree with Jenny 100%. When she hears this news, she's like, absolutely not. She does not want Summit's mom living in the house with them because obviously Summit's mom is going to stab her in the back. If I was Jenny, I would be careful making that morning coffee because his mom is probably an expert with herbs and everything, and she might try to poison her. I don't know. I'm just putting it out there.
पता है कि हाँ ये एक इंडियन बहू बनने लायक है तो सोचेंगे क्योंकि
तो कुछ ट्रेडिशंस तो सीखेगी ना.
कुछ तो सीखेगी.
I think most of us know that it's very typical to live with the in-laws in a lot of Asian cultures. That being said, to say that it's because of the culture, that's why the mother wants to do this in order to teach Jenny the culture, that's not why. She wants to do it to mess up their relationship. It turns out that Summit should actually be on the show Smothered because his mother goes on to say when asked why she's doing this or where she got the idea to move in with Jenny and Summit, the mother says this: I never got the idea from anywhere. I made up my mind that I will live in Summit's house. I wanted to live in the house with him because I have an attachment to him and he is very attached to me, but we cannot let go of Sumit, absolutely not. So we will live with him. And so, Sumit turns to Jenny and says, they're giving us a test. It's a test, you can think of it like that. Sumit, how about you grow a sack of balls? Because you're too pussy to stand up to your parents, and at the same time, you're too pussy to marry the girl that's doing the most for you. Why would Jenny need to subject herself to a test for your parents? Why would she need to do that? She lives in India without a support system for you. She's done everything. She's bled her bank account dry for you, dude, and you're still not marrying this girl. You're still wishy-washy. You have no balls. That's what it comes down to, is you're weak.
That's what I want, but if you don't want to, then...
You guys see what I'm saying? He guilt trips her. That's what I want, but if you don't want, way to make her look like the bad guy. Way to put all the pressure on your fiance, because I struggle to believe you guys are actually engaged. Here's the thing, when you get engaged to somebody, that's the promise to marry them. For you, Sumit, your word is worth about a bag of shit because you're a liar, and I don't think you're ever gonna marry this girl. And Sumit has the nerve to say, I'm so happy that I could show everybody what I've become and what I'm doing.
Actually, I'm happy that पहली बार मेरे को कुछ दिखाने का मौका मिलेगा कि मैं क्या हो चुका हूँ, मैं क्या कर रहा हूँ और क्या कर सकता हूँ आपको लोगों के लिए.
And he makes it all about him and not about Jenny. So he dropped this bombshell on his girl, and then he's saying, guys, look at how far I've come. I think we all thought that Colt was a mama's boy, but Sumit said, yo, excuse me, let me take that crown and put that on my head, because this dude is the biggest mama's boy I've ever seen in my life. Also, a really funny observation I have is that the therapist did absolutely nothing about the situation, and she actually egged on all the egos in the room.
My mom might be having a wrong intention to create trouble for me and Jenny.
This is a licensed therapist, and she thinks that this is normal. Someone needs to take her license away. I guess it's really easy to be a therapist in India. I guess you just have to be as incompetent as possible.
I do think that this is a positive sign. For some people, sound like too good to be true, but I consider it as a chance.
Well, Sumit jumped at the opportunity for his parents to move in faster than Big Ed says I love you on the first date. It's strange progressing with your life by moving out of your parents' house, only to later have them move in with you because your mother insists. Jenny's obviously uncomfortable with the situation, but Sumit doesn't care because he's selfish. Oh my god, I literally can't believe this is happening. Let's take a look at that scene when Sumit's mother puts Jenny to work right away.
अरे स्लिप पे यहाँ पे ये सब नहीं होना चाहिए, सब अपनी जगह सेट होना चाहिए.
I can't believe I'm about to say this, but I actually agree with Summit's mother here. That kitchen is an absolute mess. I think Summit's a really lazy dude, and he wants Jenny to pay for everything and also do all the housework and chores, and he'll say that it's because of culture. I don't know what this dude does all day. I don't think he does shit all day. I think that he's just like one of those dudes that coasts through life and wants the woman to do all the work. I think those dudes are beta males. The following scene is so cringe to watch. Summit's mother is teaching Jenny how to clean and properly put the dishes away in an appropriate space. Meanwhile, Sumit is just standing there translating what his mother is telling Jenny. Hey Sumit, I see your sleeves are rolled up. How about you help your wife clean the house? If you knew your parents were coming over, wouldn't you consider making the house presentable before? I feel like Sumit secretly gets off by making Jenny look as stupid as possible in front of his family. Summit's mother is putting Jenny to work in her own home, but it's hard to feel bad for Jenny because it's common sense to have a clean kitchen when you're expecting company. Besides, Jenny is 63 years old, going on 69. She's had plenty of time to learn proper etiquette. Sumit asks Jenny to bring the broom. She says she doesn't know where the broom is. Then Summit's dad says, because she doesn't use the broom. Yo, savage line by the dad. He's nice with those combos, but I got one question. What's this Oompa Loompa doing with his arms on his hips? Sumit, you lazy bitch. Stop supervising your wife getting humiliated in her house and start helping out. Jenny's older than most artifacts Indiana Jones finds, and Sumit refuses to help. That's no way to treat the elderly, bro.
ये अंदर
This isn't going the way exactly I knew it would.
Wow, I didn't know TLC made a spin-off of Cinderella, and might I add, it's very creative of them to cast Cinderella the same age as the fairy godmother. Jokes aside, Jenny, you are too old for this bullshit, and we're all waiting for you to stand up for yourself, but instead, you're going to bottle up your emotions and freak out in one of the later episodes, and that explosion of flavor is going to be super wet to watch. Summit's a grown-ass man that wants two women to take care of him his whole life. This family won't shut up about their culture, yet they raise an ungrateful, lazy bastard like Sumit. Summit's been supported his whole life by by his parents, his ex-wife, and now Jenny. Do you see the pattern here, guys? Summit's mom and dad don't approve of Jenny, but from my perspective, Jenny's too good for your lazy little son. Hey guys, as you can tell from the outfit change, it is a new day because a new episode of the show came out and we're going to be reviewing it together as a family.
Another one.
Since Summit's parents demanded that Jenny has to undergo Indian wife training, the mother thought it would be a good idea to take Jenny into the kitchen and proceed to instruct her how to prepare an Indian dish. Now that is how she painted the picture for Summit. Can you guys guess what Summit does? What's that? He listens to everything his parents say. Yeah, he does. He listens to everything his mother says and leaves Jenny to fend for herself in there.
सुमित तो बना सकता है, लेकिन मैं तो जेनी के हाथ का खाना खाना चाहती हूँ. जो नहीं आएगा मैं उसे बताऊंगी, लेकिन मुझे नहीं लगता वो कुछ सीख पाएगी. दो.
Wash it. I don't like the mother's attitude. I don't like her demeanor. I don't like the way she's bossing around Jenny in her kitchen. And to already set up Jenny for failure, first and foremost, for those of you that don't know, Indian dishes are really hard to make. I'm not even a good cook. I'm a noob of a chef myself. If I was thrown into this situation, I would not do good. And it's a very hard situation to succeed in, cooking with the mother-in-law that also hates you. And when the mother-in-law is saying, I'm going to teach her how to do it, I'm going to walk her through it, Jenny doesn't speak your fucking language. So
Before you can guys carry on, I just want Jenny and my mom cooking together because I feel like this is an opportunity for them to relive that moment which they used to have before. They become very good friends in 2013 and I'm hoping for the same.
We'll clap it up for Summit, you guys. He's no Albert Einstein. What can I say? Summit, if you leave the room, how are they supposed to talk to each other? Jenny does not speak the same language as your mother. So how are they supposed to communicate? By doing fucking sign language? So Jenny has to do sign language in addition to cooking an Indian dish that she has no idea how to make, and she's getting judged by Summit's mother. Make it make sense. Can you guys guess what happens next? It turns out that the mom and Jenny don't understand each other because Jenny doesn't speak Hindi and the mom doesn't speak English.
The good thing is that my mom don't speak English and Jenny don't understand Hindi. So I think probably this is the best thing. They both cannot understand each other.
That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
Now, as awkward as this situation is for Jenny, for the audience, it's really funny. And I think that this is such a weird situation to be in because the mother will say, I need flour in Hindi. And Jenny will be like, what? What do you need? And then the mother will repeat it and say more words. And Jenny will be like, I have no idea.
I've fallen and I can't get up.
And then the mother will be like, you're useless. And then Jenny will be smiling and the mother will be smiling, but it's a condescending smile. So Jenny's all like, I think it's going really well. The whole time the mother's talking shit about her in her native tongue. As Summit's mother is teaching Jenny the technique for making the bread, Jenny just comes around and is like, I don't understand what you're doing. I'm not a good cook. And Summit's mother is like, you're useless, with a smile on her face. And Jenny's laughing, thinking they're having fun. I'm actually getting secondhand embarrassment from this. Like, this is so embarrassing that Jenny thinks that her and the mother interacting well and they're finally getting along. And in her own house, the woman is just blatantly disrespecting Jenny. She knows that Jenny doesn't understand anything she's saying, which makes it more fucked up. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments. I think that it's rude for the mother to be like this. At the same time, Jenny is not doing a really good job of learning, but it is also a really hard thing to do, to learn when you're 63 years old. Learn how to cook Indian food with the woman that already hates you. I get that Jenny isn't the brightest person out there, but she's really nice, and I personally believe that she doesn't deserve to be in this situation. Jenny goes on to say that she thinks that her and Summit's mom could be friends again, and she's getting a really positive vibe from her. Yo, Jenny, you missed the mark by a mile. Your vibe-o-meter is off. I don't think you have the extended warranty on that. Your dog water, it's outdated. You're 63 years old getting manipulated by an Oompa Loompa and his family in India.
She's sincere and she's really trying to teach me how to cook this and actually enjoying herself. And I even am seeing her smile.
Jenny, honey, the best way to put this is that she's smiling at you, not with you. She won. She's in your house, bossing you around, trying to cause a rift in your relationship, and she's doing it. You need to kick these people out of your house.
Yeah, it's hot.
दिमाग है दिमाग.
After Jenny and Summit's mother cook, the whole family gets around the living room and starts talking about what just transpired. Jenny has stars in her eyes and she's all excited about it. Next thing you know, Summit's mother throws her in front of the bus, says that she could never become a true Indian bride. She's never gonna learn how to cook. She's terrible at it. and just really nitpicks all the problems with Jenny. And Jenny is almost about to break down and cry and upset. And I actually feel bad for her. I feel pity, but at the same time, it's hard to feel pity for Jenny because she puts herself in these situations. Next thing you know, fast forward to later that night, Sumit drops the bombshell on Jenny that he wants to live with her and his parents forever.
I'm happy with you, but same time, as I said, like, I'm not with my parents.
But you're 33 years old. You should be okay not being with your parents.
And this is the way it happened in India. People do live with their parents.
This is the way it happens. Really, Sumit? Is this the way it happens in India when your parents hate your significant other? Is that how it happens? Jenny has wasted nothing but money and time on you for the past 10 years. You want her to perform all the duties of an Indian wife and blend into your culture and your toxic family, yet you won't marry her and you won't get a job. Stop the cap. You're a lazy bum that plays both sides. You want to make nice with your family and you want to make nice with Jenny. You want the best of both worlds. At this point, it's a matter of convenience. I don't know how you guys feel, but for me as a viewer, this situation is incredibly frustrating because I just feel like he's trying to push Jenny away and she has so much time invested and she's done so much for this relationship. And at this point, she has to walk away. She should have walked away years ago, but she's still there and I'm going insane.
Doesn't anyone notice this? I feel like I'm taking crazy pills!
Next thing you know, Sumit goes on to say that he wanted some space and distance from his family, but then he realized that family is very important, especially during the pandemic. That's not the reason why, Sumit. You wanna know what the reason why is, guys? Because this loser is too lazy to get a job at the ripe age of 34 and wants to live off of his parents' money, but the problem is his parents are gonna send him money unless they get their way. That's why he's compromising by having his parents live with him and Jenny so that he can get the best of both worlds. He can be a lazy bum and he can make this old woman be his faithful Indian wife and do all the chores and clean around the house and be subjected to verbal and emotional abuse from his parents, and he can manipulate the situation to where he's in the most favorable spot. And that is what's happening. Sherlock Wetsock solved the case. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Comment below what you think about this cringe couple. Let's be valid. Follow me on Twitch and on Instagram right now.